Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Friday night's PRF1. We're at Austria for short qualifying session, followed by sprint race, followed by the usual 50% race. Gamers out there reviewed will probably note there's some issues with the online services, so people are sort of coming in drips. That's why I'm a little bit late getting started. Um, but we are getting close to going, or getting close to getting everybody in anyway. Some new guys tonight to say hello to. I'm just inviting Atkins into the party. He's going to be my pre-quali interview this week. This new feature that we're doing. Um, Hello, Atkins. Hello. Can you just make sure you've get back to that? I pressed the wrong button. I'm having to go back through everything. That right? Okay. There you go. You should have the option, mate.
Go done.
Excellent. So, well, first of all, welcome to what's just the second pre-quali interview that we're doing in PRF1. So, welcome and congratulations on being the second. um, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Um, how's things looking for Austria? How's your practice been?
Just sat in a practice lobby then. Probably usual sort of position, just inside the top 10, I'd say, looking at it. But if any of the new ones are quick or not, but yeah, should be all right, but we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know one of the new ones I don't know. So I've got no idea on that. The other new one, Wallace, is a pretty decent driver. I'm expecting him to be possibly fighting for a podium today, so we'll see how he gets on. But yeah, it should be close though, being Austria, shortest lap of the season, and so quality is usually very close around here. We'll have to see what the race is like. Um, right, well, obviously we're a bit low on time because of the issues getting in. It's taken some of our time away, so um, I did promise you a new feature tonight. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be asking you questions. Okay, it's going to be quick fire questions. Okay. So
Right,
don't you
okay.
can't take too long. You got to answer really quickly. So, the question itself is going to be what or who is your favourite? Okay,
What or who?
and I'm just gonna
Okay.
yeah. So what or who is your favourite? And I've got quite a few actually that I'm going to ask you. So, are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Excellent. Right then. So colour,
Blue.
food,
Chicken.
animal,
Cat.
Formula One team,
Mercedes.
drink,
Lucasade.
singer or band,
Fucking hell. Oasis.
football team,
Chelsea.
Formula One track,
Silverstone.
TV show,
Only Fools and Horses.
Doctor Who.
Not interested.
Oh, Formula One driver,
Hamilton.
PRF1 admin.
Got to be spreader in it.
Oh, well, cheers, yeah. All right then. Excellent. That's the end. That's the end of your questions. Well done. You didn't take too long over any of them. I'm pleased. I had nightmares if you sort of taking ages over each one. So um, there
Short
we
and
go.
sweet.
Well,
That's
that's
all.
some good ones in there. Sorry.
I said short and sweet, but
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna collate these answers. So I'll listen back on the stream to get all of them because obviously I wasn't able to write that quickly.
I
So
don't know why I fucking
I'll
said Lucas
I'll
Aid,
note
to
them
be
all down.
honest.
Lucasade. Favourite drink, Lucasade.
I
Not
do,
not beer,
all I,
cider,
all I,
wine, or anything
well,
like
yeah,
that.
that's the thing. I would have probably said fucking like Peroni or something, but the first thing I thought of was what I drunk earlier.
Fair enough. I'd have probably said coffee to be fair. So, um, you know, it's yeah. Is it Luke just normal Lucasade or is it Lucasade Sport or a
Well, it would
different
have been, yeah, it
flavoured one?
would have been the sport version, but I don't know why I said it.
Sport. Fair enough. Okay. And then I'm not letting you get away with this one. So the final question, because as I said last week, this is supposed to be just a bit of fun, really, and we're not being too serious in these little interviews beforehand. So, um, last question to you: um, if you could be,
Yeah,
if you could be any type of fish, what would you be and why?
be a perch.
You were expecting
'Cause it's
furniture,
got,
weren't you?
nah, I'll be a
Perch.
perch. Got nice spike on the back.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Um, yeah, I'd have probably yeah, I wouldn't have been too as exact on that. I'd have probably said shark, but yeah, but fair play. Well, that's good. Yeah, I was determined. I wasn't just gonna like ask the same question like every week. So I didn't want to just do furniture again. I go try and do a different one every week to try and keep people on their toes. You see. So
What's your favourite furniture? Fucking hell.
if you could, that was the one last week. If you could be a piece of furniture, what would you be and why? Yeah, there you go. Um, anyway, mate, quickly, where do you expect to qualify tonight?
Uh, I don't
Rough
know,
idea, sort
probably
of thing.
ninth, 10th, maybe.
Okay, and do you think, say you qualified 10th, do you
Yeah,
think you'll be moving forward in the race?
yeah, I do tend to be fair. I'm not quickest over one lap, but I do tend to finish higher. Well, in fact, if I finish, which is known, I do like the
Yeah,
odd DNF. I do tend to go forward rather than backwards.
excellent, excellent. Okay, mate. Well, at this point, then, I will say thank you very much for joining me and being a good sport and going for all the questions. Um, Obviously, absolute best of luck tonight. Okay, so just go out there, do your best, and never know, I might be talking to you at the end as well.
Yeah, that'd be a miracle, wouldn't it? But yeah, hopefully.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck, and so might talk to you afterwards.
Nice one. Cheers for that.
Cheers, mate.
See ya, bye.
Bye. Right, guys, there you go. So that was Atkins. That's another driver we've gotten to know a little bit better. Um, Now, if you just bear with me, because obviously, as I say, these connection issues are having a bit of an impact. We should have a full grid. I think people are struggling to get in. Um, so, Spreader's obviously doing what he can, but it's not easy. Um, so, I'm just going to. What I haven't done at the moment, actually, is shared the stream across the different channels like I normally do. Bear with me. I see quite a few of you are out there already, so I'll just share them while we're waiting. Hope you like the little interview with Atkins, and I hope you like the way we're trying to keep it, a bit fun before the race rather than being all serious. We do have a couple of serious questions and that, and then move on to the fun. I was going to ask him more. Obviously, if we'd have had more time, I would have asked him a bit more about where he is in the championship and how he feels it's going, all that sort of thing. But so we just didn't have the time tonight. So I'm sure we'll speak to Atkins again before long. He usually does well in the races, so I expect we'll speak to him on the podium at some point. That's that one. Hello, operator. Yes, you're right. Whales and dolphins are not fish; they are mammals. Why you called them a fish? We didn't call them a fish. Atkins said perch, and I said shark. Shark's a fish. I went on the I didn't have the stream open on my phone, so it is very possible, operator, that I didn't see somebody else comment before, so I don't know what you're talking about. Because it only starts to chat from when I actually get on there. It said in the comments, is it? Okay. Alright, well, I'm a pufferfish, says Wallace. Fair enough. Pufferfish. Oh, Spriggs, my game closed itself. Yeah, I think we might be getting a few things like that tonight. Matthew, operator, they live in water. Tomato. No, yeah, they live in water, but they are definitely mammals, though, Matthew. So, no, I'm with operator on this. They are warm-blooded, so they are mammals. No. I wasn't gonna. I'd already thought ahead of you guys. I had thought, what if Atkins says well or Dolphin? Shall I call him up on it? And I was going to, but he was too clever, and Perch. What a choice! What a choice! That would have never come out of my mind. Right then, I'm a pufferfish. Yes, indeed you are, Papa Wallace. Here to support Wallace again. I reckon he's going to do well tonight, my friend. Why is it's just telling me that my mobile data is turned off. Why is my mobile data turned off? If that's the case, I'll have to... I have literally no idea what any of that means. Ah, mobile data, there you go. Right, excellent. That's sorted. Right, there we go. So I'm taking my phone off the Wi-Fi so it doesn't interrupt with the connection for the race. We're with the man who was first out, so McLaren. We've got Coys. Stands for come on, you Spurs, but I've got to stop saying. I don't know why, but I've never been a big fan of Spurs. I don't know why. It's to do with a childhood friend of mine that was a massive Spurs fan, and at that time, Spurs and Newcastle were very similar levels. So, a Newcastle fan, we ended up quite big rivals for some reason. Obviously, Newcastle way ahead of Spurs these days, so don't even come into our mind as rivals anymore. What we've got to look forward to here. So, as I say, it's a short qualifying session followed by a sprint race, followed by the usual 50% race. I'm expecting pole position to be in the high 104s. It might be low 105s just because it is a short qualifying session. If it was full, then I think we'd definitely be in the 104s. But Dre there. So Coy's anyway got us off with 106.3. Here's that's an outlap actually from Davis. Robbo on his way round. See what he can do. Not a bad start from Robbo, 105.5 on the first lap. That's a really good target lap time for his next couple of runs. Here comes probably favourite for pole position, Sergeant Kamarov. He does go fastest, but only just by 14 thousandths ahead of Robbo Snipes. Shrek is on his way round. Shrek certainly someone who can put the car high up the grid. Do I like Austria? As a commentator, it's usually alright. It usually gives a bit of entertainment for us to watch and that. As a driver, I'm not a huge fan. It's a bit boring to drive it, and it's a pain to get people out of your DRS as well, because obviously like 2/3 of the track pretty much is DRS active, so you know it's over half the track in a way. Probably about 60% of the track is DRS active, so it's really difficult to shake people around here. But on your 50% and 100% races around here, it is useful because you can stick in somebody's DRS and just get dragged around the track pretty much. Goomba in, trying to find somebody coming around. Oh, that's a red boy. Who's that? That's White Lion. No, he's not on a proper lap either, is he? Here's the Ferrari, this is Operator. This one on the board. 113, so that wasn't a clear lap either. Spreader. So, just to mention then that Shrek went fastest on his run. So at the moment you've got Shrek 14 thousandths ahead of Kamarov. Kamarov's 14 thousandths ahead of Robbo. And then David spills it because he's 13 thousandths behind Robbo. That would have been awesome if they were all that 14 thousandths away from each other. Spreader goes fastest in a way, ups the ante a little bit by going to a 105.3. I still think pole position's going to be a high 104. Here's the man we chatted to. Yeah, guys, it's yeah, I must admit, I don't like running low downforce, but this is one of the tracks where I do find that I do. But I am saying that I'm going through a thing at the moment where I'm changing all my setups, so Watkins invalidates the start of his follow-up lap. Not sure if I've got anybody at the moment. Anybody? Definitely not on a lap. Sprague's not on a lap. Dark Lord, who's told me, thank you Dark, oh no, sorry, Dark Mark's told me it's going to be a rainy sprint. So, as he said it's going to be a rainy sprint, I'm kind of guessing it's going to be rain in a sprint and a dry race, which is kind of cool. Means we're going to get a bit of both. Presumably they're all set up for the actual main race where the big points are on offer. So Dark Lord has gone into P7 on a 105.9. See if Atkins is going to drive into the pits or whether he's going to carry on and try another lap. I think he's into the pits because the fuel light is on. Yeah, just a reminder, any drivers that are listening, please do remember when entering the pits to use the white line as entry. Do not cut across. You will be penalised from what I gather if you're caught doing that. Probably should have been announced earlier on, but hey ho. You should all know in a way. Let's stick with this man then, one of our new drivers. Unfortunately, at the moment, our other new driver that was going to be doing their trial tonight hasn't been able to get in. He has told us he's in another country that's having issues, so he has made us aware of that. It's, but that is why we've got 17 on the grid. We should have the full 20, as I said, but it is it's Xbox issues. It's not so that yeah, it's an Xbox issue that I think actually I know is affecting other servers as well. Well, what am I trying to say? Other leagues as well, because so I'm in multiple leagues, and the other ones that are racing tonight I know are having troubles as well. So. Good evening, Shaz. I don't know when you actually typed that, but I've only just seen it. So, Wallace then, currently in P9 on a 106.2. He's definitely capable of a lot better than that. But I guess this is sort of like qualifying for the qualifying, isn't it, at the moment? As Cami does a 105.090. So we're getting very close to the 104s now. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. The sprint's wet, but the race is dry. You want to be starting high up the grid, ideally. Wallace into the 105s. Anyway, 105.7 puts him in P6. Let's come down a bit. No, it's not as invalidated. Goomba. Where is he? I can't find him on the track. Oh, he's coming through the final corner. Oh, no, he's on an outlap. Fatal way up in sector 2 by second. And improves by 1.4 in the end. Stays P14 though, but only 0.02 of a second off Goomba now. And, Fatal back on the grid after a bit of time out, which is always recommended for everyone, I think. But good to have him back. So 3 drivers yet to get actual times on the board at all. So Dark Mark, White Lion and Atkins are the 3. Yes, hello, Mr. Well. And Bossman, and yeah, definitely. Shaz, you're definitely not that annoying spectator. You're awesome. I'm so sorry Greza isn't racing tonight. It's disappointing for you, but Greza's decided to go out tonight. He is So, which from what I understand for Greza means about 3 or 4 pints and then home to bed. So. Anyway, 105.3 from Darkmark puts him P5. It's just coming around to the end of sector 2, so let's have a look. He's improving. And no, over a second down in fact. Goomba not improving either, and that was sector 1, so 3.5 attempts down in sector 1 is huge. He's just going through sector 2, but yeah, no, 1.5 seconds off. Atkins way down, so I'm guessing they're pretty much all coming into the pits. Who's the car just coming around through sector 2? That's Dark Mark, but he is just over a 10th down. So most are pitting. Operators out on an outlap. Dre shows us on an actual lap, but I don't think he is. No, 16 seconds down in sector 1, so that's a lot to pull back. Guys, it's the standard, the same as real life, so 8 points for first, 7 for second, down to 1 point for 8th place. You never know, Shaz, yeah. Don't be ridiculous. Once he hits 2 points, that's it. He ain't going to be racing. So, operator then. Just coming around to start a lap. PB at the moment, 106.4. So, as you can see at the moment, what is it? 1.6 seconds is covering the whole 17. And 1 second covers the top 13. So, well, in fact, it's 9/10 of a second covers the top 13. So, very, very close. Oh, thank you, Mr. Whale. I do try for you. No, you're not, Wallace. Come on. You'll be fine. You know you're capable of quicker than that. Your practice got disturbed a little bit though, didn't it? So. Remember, it's only effectively the qualifying of the qualifying, so loads of time to go. Operator then across the line. 106.0 improves nicely, 4 attempts. Is P14. Tightens the field up even more, and that now means the second is covering the top 14. So, somebody else on the lap here, I think we have. Alright, it's not been. I hope today's not been too bad, Mr. Well. At least you're home now and listening to Hilly. As Dragoon joins, yay! That's one of the three drivers has managed to get in. Start Lord comes through sector 2, still slightly down, just over a tenth down. So hard, such a short track. All the sectors are pretty short, really. So it's not easy to make up time. There's a Mercedes round on the pit entry, pretty much there. It was ghosted handily. Try lap. Just having a look through. I'm not 100 that Mercedes was Scott, by the looks of it. Oh, I just missed a split time then. I don't know if it's a hot lap or not. I think it is because the energy's going down. So I just realised we hadn't actually done a hilly hot lap, so I'm going to have to find someone to do a hilly hot lap with. I won't do it Fatal. I don't want to put Fatal on the in the spotlight on his first race back. So, Wallace on an out, Cammy's on an out lap, so I think that's probably a good shout. Currently holding provisional pole by pretty much quarter of a second. But as I say, I am expecting pole to be in the 104s. I'll be in, well, there you go. There you go. What a lap, Coys. Brilliant lap. He was sandbagging guys on the first two runs. He was sandbagging and fibbing to us in the chat. 104.8. That's raised the bar. That could well take pole position, you know. See, in a way. So, this man here is going to have to improve by quarter of a second over the whole lap. So, in a way, let's go and do the hilly hot lap. So, open up DRS, head up towards turn 1. It's a late turning for turn 1 this season. They've just changed the inside curve slightly. But Camberwell seems to be happy to use that curve a bit. Open up DRS, head up the hill towards turn 3. This uphill braking for the hairpin. It's always a bit iffy on the old exit and traction as we head down to turn 4. Again, it's another one of these late turn-ins for the apex. It gives you the better exit. Let's head down now to turn 6 and 7. So the sort of double left-hander, the second split in the middle of the two corners. And a nice exit out, but he was over a tenth down. Head up to the penultimate corner. Just got to throw it in there. It's a little bit blind on entry. He's right on the exit of the final corner. It actually did improve. He gained some time. I'm actually amazed he didn't invalidate then. But he did gain some time, but stays P2. Final corner. It's the absolute bane of my life around this track. I really do hate the final corner. I'm forever either throwing it in a little bit too early or a little bit too late, and it zaps time out your lap. It's a pain in the ass. Spriggs improves his PB, but stays P6. Mark heads for the line, and it's a 10th improvement. P7 for Dark Mark. White Lion on his way as well. He's improving, and he goes P5. So that is Red Bull P5 and P6. Wallace is invalidated. Fatal as well. I think that's it. They're the only two that don't have a checkered flag next to their name, and neither one's improving. So I believe that's the end of qualifying. So well done to Coys, who takes his first pole position in PRF1. So congratulations to you, Coys, for McLaren. And Cammy takes P2 with Spreader in P3. Robbo P4, White Lion 5, Shrek in 6. Spriggs P7 in the first of the two Ferraris. Dark Mark in P8, Davis 9th. Wallace 10th on his debut. Be a little disappointed with that, I think, but as I said, it's only effectively the qualifying for the qualifying, so we'll see where he goes in the what is it's promised to be a wet sprint by the looks of things. Dre P11. I'll just finish the countdown in just a moment. So, yeah, Dre P11, Dark Lord in 12, Goomba 13, Atkins 14, Operator 15, Scott in 16, Fatal Defiance 17, and Dragoon, who got in just at the end there, so at least it's going to be on the grid, but we'll start P18. So the Aston Martins both starting at the back, but that may, you never quite know. Sometimes that can be a blessing in disguise if there's a bit of turn one mayhem. But essentially, looking at it, P1 to P14 is covered by 1 second. So expected a close qualifying, and with a close qualifying we got. Quickly go through the instance just in case they wanted, although I can't imagine they will be. And who used what? Well, Koi's only used 2 sets of softs, so that's to his advantage. Dark Mark as well. A few others. Operator, Fatal Defiance. Says Dragoon used 2 sets of softs, although I don't think he actually got on track. But there you go. Everybody else used 3. But with the sprint, well, might see 1 or 2 people using softs for the sprint, so they'll be dying at the end of the sprint. Well, no, they won't be actually, will they? Because it's going to be wet. What am I talking about? Right, Shaz did Austria last night, and pole was 104.3. Yep. Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting quicker tonight, but I know those sorts of times are very much doable. I didn't know I had that in me. Well, you did have it in your coys. Well done to you, lad, and congratulations on your first. It is a pole position essentially, isn't it? But it's just a bit strange because you've got to do the sprint to actually take the actual pole position. Oh, I see, Shaz. Yeah, no, it's the short qualifying because of the sprint race. So otherwise, we really will be here all night. It's late enough as it is. And yeah, even in Davis, I hope you're well. And I hope to be seeing you do well. So just a shame this connection issues happened. We were looking forward to a full grid with 2 trialists on track. It's just been, it's just been dampened a little bit. I won't say ruined because it's not been ruined at all. I think we're still going to have a really good race, hopefully. But it's just dampened it a little bit, shall we say. So I don't know how long the break is between the quali and the sprint. I assume it's just a few minutes or something. Any drivers do keep an eye on the Discord, and Spreader will tell you when to go. Oh, apparently you said. So just opening some Discord myself. I just want to make sure. Yep. Spread did give it. He did say 2-minute breaks to set yourself for the race, guys. We go at 8:57. It is 8:57. So it's a proper ready up, and go. So formation lap on both the sprint and the full race. Well, I was told it was going to be a rainy sprint. Who told me it was going to be a rainy sprint? That was Dark Mark, wasn't it? I think it was Dark Mark. What a fibber. What a little fibber. So everybody on medium tyres. Now if there was rain pretty much expected straight away in the sprint, I'm sure it would have I'm sure we would have seen people starting on softs, not mediums, but there you have it. Yeah, little fibber. Get me all excited, making me think it was going to be a wet sprint. Okay, so it looks like a dry one then, and say all drivers on the medium tyres, which is probably sensible. Softs quite often, really. I think you probably could get them through the 12 laps, but going to be exceptionally slow towards the end of the 12 laps. So really, the mediums are the correct tyre. Go. Let's hope we get through turn one. Just be careful, guys. Turn one. And, well, turn one's a nightmare every track these days, isn't it? But it's not. It's turn one and turn four here, isn't it? Actually, they tend to be the two corners. Sorry, turn three, not turn four. What am I talking about? And away we go. Guys, looks like he gets off the line pretty well. Spreader's off to his usual flyer, but he gets kind of blocked a little bit by Coys, but he is ahead of Cammy. Cammy is under pressure on the inside from Robbo, who does take P3 off of him. So Cammy down two. There's a few people dropping down. And we've got a spinner there. Dark Lord is round. Shrek has dropped down massively. There's all sorts going on. There's Davis and Wallace fighting as we head down. It's turn four, and still side by side. Nicely going from both drivers. Nicely done. Still say side by side going into six, and it looks like Wallace has got that position in the end by having the inside at six. Consolidates it at seven, and nice start from Wallace up 3 places. Two Atkins, the two Alfa Romeos running next to each other on track, 9 and 10. It's ahead of that though, which is still Wallace and Davis. There just seems to be a bit of a gap that's created. Is it Dre to Dark Mark? No, I don't think it was that one that I was looking at. I think it's Shrek to Dark Lord. Just created a bit of a gap. We do have one into the pits, which is Operator. And we had a spinner there. Scott's had a little bit of a moment at turn one on that two. So, Dragoon getting past Goomba. It's into four by the looks of things, or down the straight on the way to four. It's up to 13th now, and still behind Fates of Defiance actually. So the two Aston Martins have started very nicely. It's just grabbed the position changes a second. So yeah, both Aston Martins up 5 places now, running 12th and 13th, having started in the back 2 places. And there's just a massive train of cars, guys, going from P1, Coy's here, all the way down to P10, Dre. Just superb, what we want to see. It means that the overtake could come from anywhere, really, in this group. It's a bit difficult to know exactly which one to watch as we get our first penalty picked up of the evening, which is Wallace. It wasn't too bad, Shaz, was it? It wasn't too bad. There was a little bit of action down at turn one, but to be honest, I've seen I've caused a lot worse than that at turn one in Austria before, let alone seen it. I can remember one race where we started off, and on the lead up to turn one, I'm on a pad, and I pressed as I pressed the brake button in the left trigger, the pad disconnected and it just ploughed straight into whatever cars were ahead of me. I think I took about 6 people out. Thank goodness we've restarted. Just disconnected, and when a pad disconnects, it doesn't. It's not like when you press pause and it goes straight into AI. It keeps going for about 3 seconds before it goes into an AI mode. So, yeah, it's a nightmare. Anyway, back to this race. Look how tight it is. Unbelievable. So, you know, when people are driving around Austria like this is when we like Austria, as Fatal Defiance makes a move on Dark Mark. He's keeping it to the inside here. That's turn 6. We're heading straight into 7. It looks like Fatal Defiance is going to grab that position. What a start for his debut this evening. And the other Aston Martin, a Dragoon, is looking to follow him through. It always worries me when a car gets alongside during that penultimate corner. Let's lead up now to turn 1 with DRS open on both cars. Again, no, the Dragoon just has to fold in behind. It's the thing, it's what we said earlier on about DRS around here. It's really difficult to... Oh, we've got a yellow flag and it's White Lion. It's White Lion at turn 3. I think we'll see him. There he is in the foreground there. He's dropped right away to 10th place. But is going again. We'll have to see if there's any obvious damage. He may actually affect this battle. It actually could come into it. He ends up giving Fatal Defiance DRS. Yeah, right, so Fatal Defiance has just gone into the 1 second. It's just out again though, as White Lion perhaps starts to find his feet a little bit. And into the pits then is Spriggs. Well, that would give us a suggestion that maybe Spriggs was involved with whatever happened to White Lion then. Never be 100% sure, look at that. Battle down into turn 1 there. And Dark Mark, I don't think Dark Mark's got DRS here. No, he hasn't. But Dragoon didn't seem to have anything like enough pace. Will he have a go down? Look at Dark Mark ahead. Well, perhaps he'd gotten into DRS for that straight. I couldn't see if it was open or not. But so I'm just going to head up to the front 2 because Spreader has gotten past Coys, but it's still extremely tight. Oh, Coy spins it. Oh, it's coming out of the penultimate corner, and it's just well, it's just snapped on him and turned him round. He was pretty much done with the corner. It was a strange one. He was pretty much done with the corner before it decided to spin him. Spriggs is back into the pits again on the next lap, so quite know what's happened there. Unless he's gone back in to change his tyres back to what he was on, because you know, I don't particularly want to be using 2 sets of tyres in the sprint, so perhaps he's gone in to put the same set of tyres back on. Although it could well give him fresh mediums if he does that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So, take a view here of the battle for lead. So, obviously we've got the spin from Coys, but almost like a conveyor belt. Spread into P1, but immediately come right onto the back of him and sniffs a bit of sprint race victory. It's just one of those now. At what point? Well, he's going for it here. It's turn 4. Nice bit of racing from the two of them. No contact made. Kamarov making his intentions quite clear. Now, just switch quickly there, just so I can have a look at the ERS, and it does seem Kamarov's got a bit of an advantage on the ERS, so just over 10% more. So the problem becomes if Spreader keeps using ERS to defend every lap, he's going to run out. And to be quite honest, Cammy ultimately, in my opinion, would be best off not using any ERS to attack here. I'd be half tempted just to force Spreader into using his and not really look to make a move. But Cammy is going to up into turn 3. Round nicely. There is things going on elsewhere on the track, guys, but I can't really switch to any of that as we've got a battle for the lead. As Cammy still had DRS down into turn 4 as well, and so he's taken a lead. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised. I thought Cammy might have just held off basically pretty much till the last lap, maybe the penultimate lap, but say just because now the roles have reversed, so now Spreader's in P2 and he can force Cammy into using ERS to defend while saving his own potentially. To be fair, Cammy's driven sets her free pretty well there. I'm really amazed how much curb Kamarov takes into turn 1. Generally found avoiding that curb's the better way to go. He's a better driver than me, so I'll trust his judgment on that. He's a lot younger than me, so that's probably what it is. He's a lot younger, so he's a lot braver than I am. So I've got to stick with this. There is other things going on. Let's just go to Atkins and Wallace. Also has lost a couple of places. He was P4. Still together. Do we get through that? I don't know if there was a little bit of contact there or not, but they have got through together in a way. That's the main thing. And that is down at turn 1 again, I think. Oh no, I think that's Fatal actually. I think Fatal Defiance had a moment down at turn 1. He's dropped down to P17. His teammate is up in P10, so that absolute dream from the two Astons starting this race has disappeared a bit, but still one of them up in P10 is not bad going. As we've got Goomba, I believe, having trouble at turn 6 and 7. Oh, there we go again. That would suggest to me that his tyres are seriously... Oh, hello! Oh, that's brilliant. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That is insane. That was brilliant. That's got to get clipped. Somebody clip that, please. I can't clip. If you're streaming, you can't clip things, but please, if you're in the Discord, please clip that. That was hilarious. I've never seen that. Oh, what's happened? Oh, is that Fatal? Oh, yeah, I think it's Fatal, actually. So it's out of the final corner. So, get himself out of the way if the car's coming round. But, in a way, we're on to the final lap, so let's go back to the two leaders. And, yeah, you're right, Atkins up 10 places, having a superb race. See, that's what happens when you talk to Hilly before qualifying. You end up having absolutely... Oh, he's just dropped a position. Oh, he's got it back again, I think. Should we go to that then? Because clearly they're driving very close to each other. So it's Davis in the Alfa Tauri, Atkins in the Alfa Romeo. And Atkins just shows a bit more bravery there for me. And keeps hold of P4. Let's go back to the leaders. So Kamarov will win the sprint race. Master Spread P2, both of them up one place. Robbo P3 up one place as well, but Atkins up 10 places. Certainly takes the driver of the sprint race. Davis up 4 places. Dre up 5. Coy's down 6 after that spin. Wallace gains 2 places despite the penalty. He would have been up 4 places otherwise. White Lion down so nearly a Super both Aston Martins, but it just didn't work out in the end for Fatal Defiance. And I hate to say it, but I think I've just been kicked from the session. So yeah, thanks Davis. So I will obviously join back, but I messed the spread. It does mean, Spreader, if you're listening, it does mean I haven't got the results from the sprints. So, well, I have in a way because you got this, it's recording as everybody crossed the line, so I got it in that sense. I just haven't got the actual standings thing that comes up at the end. But thank you everyone for the invites. That's very kind of you. So, drive Spread just simply because he's the host. Right, yeah. Okay, it's just going to take me a bit of time to get in because the session's ending, so it's got to go through all the session ending before I can join back. But we're not missing anything, obviously, guys. Effectively, everybody's just going to be taking a break now. So it should be 5 minutes before we get going. And we'll head in. Hopefully, the actual race is as good as the sprint race, because that was brilliant. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Very close qualifying. Brilliant sprint race. Let's hope the race can go the same way. But we'll find out soon. I'm just going to nip and get a coffee, and I'll be back in a minute. Yes, indeed, the old hilly two-tap. Right. Should be coming up soon. Back in a wait. So, thought I could go down the rest of the order for you, but we saw it unfold anyway. But as I said, I won a bad sprint race. I quite enjoyed that. That was lots of good racing in that short time. A few incidents and all that sort of thing, and that absolutely hilarious moment where we were on with Gumba having had a spin to see Fatal Defiance literally do the same thing and actually reverse into the exact same spot we were sat in. So I've got to get that into a clip or something, a highlight or something like that, because that was hilarious. That was tough, Wallace. You did well, mate. Shame you picked up the penalty, but otherwise you'd be starting sixth, I think. But you still did well. But yeah, it's well, yeah. I mean, there's for quite a long time there. The top 10 were all within a second of each other and all getting DRS, so that does make it extremely difficult. You did indeed, Dragoon. Yeah, I mentioned that just before I got kicked from the lobby. It's you did do extremely well. Totally, Wallace. 100%. If it sticks together, it's definitely anybody's race. So we'll see. Perhaps, yeah. I mean, pit stops could really play, or pit stop could really play an important role, and people's decisions of which way round to go. Start on the hards, go to the mediums, or the other way round. I mean, it's always the case, I guess, but the problem with starting on hards is pretty much always if there is an early safety car, it could completely ruin your strategy if you start on hards. But that's kind of what you get. Yeah, it's the risk you take, but if it works and you do get through to sort of lap 20-ish without picking up a safety car at any point, then it is advantage you if you started on the hards. But let's have a look what people are doing then. So, a few details up. So there we have it. So the top 5 have all gone for the medium tyre. So I'm not massively shocked at that. I think there is, as I say, Austria. I think, well, in my experience of Austria on this game, I would say it's a higher safety car risk than it has been on previous versions of the game. So maybe that's due to the change in the cars. I don't know. So I think turn 1 actually has got something to do with it, because they just changed the curve slightly on turn 1. And it's very easy to spin there now. Koi's starting P7 after that spin. It's was leading the sprint race, of course. It's down to the penalty that Wallace had. Scott's been disqualified, but obviously no real issues. He'll be on the grid. So the hard starters, in a way, are Dre, Coys, Wallace. Then down to P12, Dark Mark. And then the bottom 3, Operator, Gumba and Fatal, going with hards first. So, and it's pretty standard. It's, I believe the game automatically sets it up as 15 laps mediums, 21 hards. But you could probably go a little bit longer on the mediums around here. It's not, yeah, Dragoon, I think you're right. Yeah, it's part of the reason I'm not a massive fan of it. I know it's been a favourite track of people in the past in previous versions of the game, but it's not for me. So they're all on the grid. The lights start coming on. 4, 5, and out they go. And Spreader gets off to a good start. The Alpha Tower reused that, absolutely flying. That's Davis. Absolutely flying up the outside. Just coming down the order. Do we get off okay? It looks like we do. Looks to me like everybody's gotten around turn 1. So we head up to turn 3. And Kamarov up the inside here of Spreader. Didn't quite make that stick. Spreader perhaps with the high line gets a bit better traction. And there is a yellow flag that appears to be Dre, who's round, having come out of turn 3. But his car is moving, he seems to be back going again. Spread and Cami stick it very close. Create just a little bit of a gap to P3 at the moment, which is Atkins, as Cami does take the lead of the race. Spreader up to his usual tricks off the line and absolutely flying off the start. As Cami, by the end of lap 1, is back, and Spriggs is round by the looks of it. It's the penultimate corner. No damage, otherwise he would have dived in to the pits. So he'll carry on his way. And Dragoon not off to a great start. It appears something's probably happened to Dragoon at some point, and he's down to P16. He's got the Ferrari all over him as well. Can't see any obvious damage on Dragoon, but he did seem to be struggling there. Seemed pretty slow. Straight following whatever happened at turn 3 then into the pits. Just looking down the order, and again it's really tight. The top 9 all within a second. 10th place Dark Mark is only just outside the 1 second. So it's all very, very tight again, and not sure what that yellow flag is. I think it's Scott, actually. I think Scott's had a moment, but I don't think it was a particularly big moment. He's already on his way. And well, may have been bigger than I thought, because he has had to come into the pits. Oh, Dark Mark just runs wide into turn 3, and it's allowed Shrek to have a little look on the inside. Heading down to turn 4 now. Hey. Gonna stay side by side. Looks like Shrek's just gotten a better exit, and he's gonna consolidate this. He's got himself just a little bit ahead, which allows him to move over, take the race in line, and consolidate the position gain. He needs to get this down to under a second. I'm surprised he didn't get on the ERS then. He has got to within a second. Fatal picks up a penalty, operator with a penalty as well. There has been a bit of movement here, so White Lion has dropped out of the 1 second, and he's got Wallace on the back of him. So Wallace started on the hard, so him and Coys are the top 2 hard drivers at the moment. So I don't know whether White Lion's had a little moment to make that gap appear, because he's normally got the pace to be staying with the front group, so I'm not convinced that's just because of pace. That I think that might have been that he's had a little moment or something. Let's just have a quick look at the position changes, just confirm who's our top starter, and it looks like Fate of Defiance up 6 places is our biggest jumper at the moment. Well, forward at least, in a way. White Lion sticking with him, because I thought we may end up with a little battle, but here is Robbo. Let's get past Wallace, for P7. And, see pretty nicely actually from that picture, Wallace did end up with the DRS, but wasn't able to get back past. But of course, that important. At some point in this stint, the crossover in tyres will happen, and I would predict it will be around about lap 12 or 13 that the hards will start. Before, it may be slightly earlier than that, but it'd be somewhere around there. The hards will start performing better. So far, so good for the hard starters. Coy's without doubt in a very nice position right now. What's up, guys? Come around very close, and it's just really close to becoming a top 3 group here. Davis is dicing with falling out of the 1 second, and as you can see actually if we go to Davis, he's really low on energy, so he's clearly been using that energy to stick with the top 3 group, whereas Atkins, the car directly ahead of him, still on, well, basically 70% ERS. You have to give it to these top guys. I don't want to put any sort of curse on them, but you've got to give it to Cammy and Spreader that Atkins today at the moment. But Cammy and Spreader are like this every single week, within a second of each other, and they're in a party chat together all the time. How they do that, I don't know. And then Shrek, who is on the inside of Dark Lord. I think he got that done. He did indeed, so up to P9. And that is Wallace just ahead of him, who, as I say, making his debut tonight, currently sat in P8. But as I said, started on the hard tyre, so his sort of more fun part of the race, if you like, is going to be on the second stint when he's chasing others down. And obviously it's not of any real massive importance that Wallace keeps Shrek behind here, but if he holds him up, it could be beneficial for later in the race if he holds him up a bit. But if I was Wallace, I wouldn't be going sort of out my way to do it. Ultimately, if Shrek goes past him, he can use Shrek as a means to DRS and therefore to store some energy for himself. So another opportunity. Wallace forces Shrek to try and make this move on the outside, meaning he'll brake a bit later. As you saw, they're going to stick side by side now going into turn 6. We've seen Wallace make this move a couple of times on the inside in the sprint, and this time it's used against him. They're still side by side at turn 7. Really nice racing together, and Wallace comes out of that on top in the end. Really, really good racing. Hopefully the admins will see that, because well, they'll love to see that from a debutant, willing to fight but doing it cleanly like that. They will love to see that. As this time Shrek does get past. So when you're vulnerable to DRS around here, there's not a lot you can do to hold the guy off for too long, because your ERS only lasts so long. So ultimately, it's kind of like a stay of execution, pretty much. But, as I say, we're at the point of the race where Wallace might be able to stick with Shrek a little bit. It's around this sort of area. He needs to stay within the 1 second here. And he hasn't, like, he's just dropped out. And especially once you get through the penultimate corner and you hit the DRS activation, you've got it for almost 2/3 of the lap then. So I think we've got a move coming up. Squeeze goes to the outside of Davis. And wow, go round the hairpin in sync together. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And looks like Coys is gonna get this. Actually, Davis had the DRS down towards turn 4, but Coys, with his energy that he's been saving, able to get that move done. Now, is that the first little inkling to us that the hards are beginning to work? It's always hard to know. We know from qualifying that Coys was clearly very fast, so it's always a bit difficult to know. But hello, runner and Stroudy. Hello, guys. Very nice wheel racing. We've had lots of it already in the sprint and now in the race. Really good to watch. Love seeing it. I almost think, to an extent, I kind of almost think it's actually more impressive. I'll probably get shouted at for saying this, but it's in a way it's more impressive, the wheel-to-wheel close racing without contact in the game than it is in real life. And the reason why I say that is because in real life, you know, they don't want to die in the game. Nobody's going to die, so I kind of, in a way, find it even more impressive. What is impressive, though, and I've only just noticed it, but Cammy has created a gap. As we've got, is that Dre round at turn 1? It is indeed. He's trying to get himself back able to go again. He's just got Kamarov coming round, and that's going to see him a lap down. And a battle going on there. What's happening there? Because Spreader seems to be in trouble. Now, see in France that we noticed Spreader's medium tyres seem to begin dying a lot earlier than those around him. And is that happening again here? Because it looks like it might be, but why? Why? I really do wish I could get that graphic so I could see what the tyre wear percentages are. Fortunately for me, it would mean I'd have to buy the game again, so I'd have to string through the laptop in order to do it, but to get it. But I have to buy it on PC effectively. Dre, I had a funny feeling that was coming after he dropped a lap down. Dre, unfortunately, out of the Austrian Grand Prix, having retired in the pits. Yeah, not a lot to say on that. He dropped a lap down. So, yeah. Yeah, basically, he dropped a lot. He dropped a lap down. I don't think that was. I think we probably all thought that was about to come, to be honest. So I think Dark Lord there just got past Wallace. But again, it's one of those scenarios. Wallace knows that as I called it earlier on, his fun time is coming in the second half of this race. But Dark Lord actually made a mistake and has allowed Wallace back past. And not just Wallace, Spriggs has gone past as well. Go again. I assume he's going to come under a bit of attack here. Happening at the front again. Nice spread coming under attack from Atkins again. But I don't want to move off this. We're clearly going to get a run here. And yes. Ooh. Just thought for a moment that Spriggs was going to go over and shut the door before breaking, but luckily he didn't, and Wallace is sticking with this. And that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from both drivers once again. Absolutely superb racing. I have to say, Papa Wallace, I don't know if you're still watching. I've been commentating now on Wallace making his debut tonight and for WAOF1 on Tuesday as well. I have to say that your son is becoming one of the best side-by-side racers I've ever seen on the game. There's absolutely nothing to do with him then. Spriggs just outbraked himself. And that was actually a good bit of sportsmanship there from Spriggs. I don't know if you noticed that, but he lifted then. Because he had DRS and could have potentially gone for a move, but I think because of hitting Wallace at the previous corner, he just lifted so as not to make a move straight away. So a little bit of sportsmanship there. And Cammy is in. First braking time, spreader continues through, as does Atkins. So Atkins has been close a couple of times to spreader, but he's not at any point got past. And what is spreader going to do? Is this going to be a straight overcut, undercut attempt? Oh, look at this traffic for Cammy. Wow. He's not directly behind it, but he's going to run into it. This is the battle that we were watching, look, between Wallace and Spriggs. It's got Dart Lord and Dart Mark right on the back of it, and Kamarov has come out about a second and a half behind them. Stay side by side again. Oh, Wallace picked up a free second on the outside there. So that'd be a bit disappointing for him. I didn't strip him down. Oh no, as people were entering the pits, they've gone ahead of him. So Davis and Shrek into the pits, Spriggs into the pits, Dart Lord into the pits. So that's two of them have gotten out of Kamarov's way. But Wallace and Dartmark started on the hards, so they're not about to jump in. Well, certainly not for a few laps, in a way. The pit stops, you'd imagine, will be reasonably close together between the mediums and the hards. But Sergeant Kamarov already up and past Dartmark. The actual pit stop is one of the shortest of the season here, so in terms of pit lane time, just trying to actually work out in my mind. I think the gap between Spreader and Kamarov is of just over 12 seconds, which isn't... Well, maybe a little bit more than that, actually, but it's not much more. It's, yeah, no, Kamarov's going to go through easy, isn't he? Got Spreader in the pits, he's into the box. Cammy's already through the final corner. And there he goes. That is Cammy. Just about caught of a faint white glimpse. And he is through. And he's about to make his move on Wallace. Yeah, be a good man to latch onto, Wallace, if you can, but obviously with 17-lap old hards, that may be easier said than done. But if you can latch onto him for a couple of laps, it may well help him in the long run. So we've got a retirement. Shrek is out. And we're going to have a safety car. It's a full safety car. Well, this is perfect for the hard starters. This is perfectly timed for the hard starters. Coys has just been... Oh, this... There's nothing I can do. Master Spread, if you're listening, because I know you do sometimes, Coys has just been kicked. And I can't invite him back because he's on PlayStation. There's nothing I can do. Hopefully someone's listening that can invite him back in, but obviously pit stop mayhem at the moment. Just checking Coys. Oh, he is on the back of the safety car. It's a pain. As I say, it's perfect for the guys that started on hards. We're going to have a safety car. It's probably going to stay out for a few laps. Can't see us being back racing at least until lap 22, I would imagine. And, yeah, it's just perfect for those that are going on to medium tyres. Apart from Coys, because he's been kicked, and there's nothing I can do. Sweet. Nothing I could do. I could press that all I like. He's on PlayStation. It's not going to work. Look, I'll go to invites, but it just doesn't work for me. I'm afraid it just doesn't work. Hoff wants to be my friend. That's nice of him. As you can see, if I go to friends, it says there's 72 online, but it just doesn't. Nothing comes up. Nobody's names come up at all. There's nothing I can do, I'm afraid. Boys, if you're listening and you're not back in, the best bet is to message Master Spread. But there really is nothing I can do, my friend. I'm sorry, but it's just a glitch that I've always had on the game. Never been able to invite anybody through EA Friends at all. Right, let's have a quick gander at the position changes now. So Coins is up 6, but obviously that's going to get ruined when he pits. White Lion up 4, Wallace up 2, Spriggs up 7, Dark Lord up 4, Dark Mark up 1, Fatal's up 5, Goomba up 3, Operator up 1. We've lost Shrek and Dre. Other than that, Scott's down 1, Robbo's down 9. So miserable race at the moment for Robbo, but safer car maybe will give him an opportunity to get back into it. Davis down 3 at the moment. Kami and Spreader down 1 each, but really they're where they were, because obviously Coys will have to. I cannot believe this isn't bringing Coy's car in, even in an AI. How can the AI not know that it should be coming in for medium tyres right now? What mediums won't last, Big D? What? Surprised me saying that. What mediums do you think won't last? This is perfectly timed to go onto medium tyres. That's it, runner. Yeah, and he's sick of... I don't know what it is, but Spreader, just recently, Spreader seems to be losing his tyres earlier than everybody else, and I don't know why. I mean, I might be talking gibberish. Perhaps nothing's going wrong, and it's just he's had a moment or something. But I don't think it is that. It happened. I'm sure it was at France as well. Anyway, we're back racing the end of this lap. I am absolutely gutted for Coys. I really am. This is the only problem in it. Well, it's the only problem because it don't bloody work for me. If the EA Friends works, I'd be able to invite them in. But in a way, away they go. Kamarov will take the lead of the race immediately. Mr. Spread will go through as well. So sorry for him. And Fatal just got ahead of Robbo Snipes on the restart. Right, lining up into P4, Atkins into P3. I mentioned to him earlier on, it might speak to him as well as makes his way past it as well, and up into P5. Spriggs into P6. So, it mentioned to Atkins I might speak to him on the podium, but when we had the pre-quali interview, but he dismissed it pretty quickly. But he's currently sat in P3. Oh, we've lost Dark Mark. That looks to me, yeah, it's just, oh, that is going to be a safety car. He's right in the middle of the track. Guaranteed safety car. He's literally right in the middle of the track. The safety car is out, guys. There's no doubt about that. It's just leaving the pit lane now. Smith into the Discord second. Yeah, so Coys hasn't said anything in the chat, in the Discord chat. Absolutely gutted for him, really am. It's in a way. It's hard to imagine anybody pitting here. Maybe Operator would be the only possibility, really, because he's on softs. I think that's what maybe you meant to say, Big D, was it? You must have meant the softs, not the mediums. Missing you tonight, Big D. Anyway, well, right now, Kamarov obviously being penalty free in an absolute great place. Penalties, 3 seconds, apart from Fatal and Gumbo, both have 6. All the others are 3 at the moment. I'm not going to stick on that because it's way too early. I shouldn't have even looked at it, really. So yeah, you've got to say penalty-free Kamarov and White Lion right now. And even Spriggs, in fact, are looking pretty healthy. As long as they can remain penalty-free. What a shame we've ended up like this. And I think sometimes, you know, safety cars can become a little bit... Once one happens, it can catch a little bit and we end up with a few. But hopefully this will be the last one. But at least, one thing I've noticed recently actually is that the safety cars have been coming out when they should. In the sense of, as we saw on that one, the car was stopped across the track, so of course the safety car would come out in real life. And I think the first one was correct as well, so just mean we're not seeing safety cars coming out because there's a little bit debris on the track. stuff like that. I've been saying for quite some time, and all the leagues I'm in, I've been saying for some time that the reduced safety car setting is by far the most realistic setting of them. Can you imagine when they actually bring in I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon, but if they were to bring in red flag sessions and standing still restart again, oh my goodness, bit of debris on the track, that's it, red flag, red flag, red flag. Restarting the race like 6 times every race. Hey, everybody does, guys. Boys, where are you? Boys, do you even know that you've disconnected? Oh, you do? Okay. You had me worried there that maybe you were driving thinking everything was hunky-dory, not realising what happened, but... So it's the... Oh, White Lion gets a little bit excited into turn 3. And it's cost him down to P6. Looks like Sprig's going to hold that. As the 2 leaders are battling as well. And just going to head up to them. They are side by side for the lead of this race. Spreader's got the inside into turn 6. Still side by side for 7. Brilliant. Again, absolutely class racing. And amazingly, Kamarov holds him off. Absolutely class. Wallace on those medium tyres is looking to make the best of them while they're at their best, and see if we can get up the field. He'd really like to. Well, to be honest, you would fancy that if Atkins falls off the front 2, that he's going to be maybe cannon fodder, as the front 2 look like they're side by side again. That yellow flag, unfortunately, is Dart Lord, who is dropped right to the back. It looks like he's just been out of turn 3. Looks like Cammy's been a bit more aggressive on the defence this time, but Spreader will fold in, and no doubt that won't be the last time that we see that again. I was having a look on the inside, but I think that's more to find his bearings of where they are. This lap is it that DRS activates, I think. Yep, there you go. DRS is now enabled. At the moment, we do all have DRS, so the top 7 have DRS. Dragoon is just outside DRS to Davis. Things looking up again for Aston Martin. We're now running in P8 and P9. So, sorry, sat on Atkins there when these 2 are battling again. Could have a battle into turn 4 every lap for the rest of this race, possibly. Spreader. It's got a slight tyre advantage with the 2 laps, but it won't be much. Not with a set of hards that'd be next to, well, what, 4% maybe? Tyre wear, 5. That push. It could just be for Wallace if Sprig's starting to get a bit close. And there is, oh, Wallace picks up another 3 seconds. Goes up the inside at turn 3. Looks like Wallace gets a better exit. Which seems to be the case if you come out on a higher line. It does look like you get a better traction. What do you mean you left because the safety car came at the wrong time? You were on hards. The safety car couldn't come at a better time. Right, so just trying to figure this out. Is well, Atkins is having a look at the inside of spreader. Spreader has gone from attacking Kamarov to being attacked by Atkins. Again, he's going to end up in this battle around these corners, isn't he? He'll be driving these side by side in his sleep tonight. And Spriggs inside as well. It does just look like I was just a little bit worried for Wallace that the tyres may just begin to go off a bit just before the end. It's happening that, well, if it is happening, it's happening a little bit earlier than I expected, but I don't think they are, you know. I think it's just the nature of the track. It's ended up being overtaken, but may have been a slight disappointment through the extra 3 seconds as well. Oh, that Red Bull really close to the back of the Ferrari. So, oh, the Red Bull boosted there for a little bit. Up the inside here from White Lion. Use enough room. White Lion takes P4. So Spriggs has just got to stick with this. He's penalty free, Spriggs. He's got to. The thing is, oh, as Wallace picks up another 3 seconds. The thing is for Spriggs here, he's got he's penalty free. He doesn't want to. He's kind of stuck between because he's a bit. I think he's probably a bit worried that he's going to lose the cars ahead if he doesn't try and get past. But he doesn't want to do anything silly and accidentally pick up a penalty. So he's very much got a chance of P2. You just gotta stick with these. I am keeping an eye on other gaps, guys, and there are other potential battles at the same time, but at the moment, Spriggs and Davis, in fact, could very much gain. Davis just needs to see if he can catch up. We just saw somebody. Operator that just had a little moment, dropped down. No, operator pitted. Dark Lord's into the pit, so maybe the yellow flag was his. Not entirely sure. So battle continues, and now Spreader finds himself back within a second of Sergeant Kamarov. So this group is catching Cammy. Spreader's not just catching Cammy, he is right on him. Absolutely right on him. And Cammy's lost a good second there. What's... I mean, I know they're in party chat together. I can't believe for a second that Cammy's dropped back to give Spreader DRS to help him out, because they're championship rivals. They might be mates, but they're championship rivals. So I can't believe that. I can only assume that Cammy's got a bit of a problem. Wallace took another penalty. Dark Lord sets fastest lap of the race. I'm going to soft tyres. And I've just brought out the penalties for us, so... See the Spreader, Atkins and White Lion all on 3 seconds. Fortunately for Davis, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get close enough to pick up a podium, but Spreeks looks destined at the moment. As long as nothing goes wrong on the final lap, he looks destined for a P2. Well, then, so yeah, it's 3 seconds for those three in the top 4, and 12 seconds now for Wallace. Unfortunately, he still had a great debut. His racing alongside has been awesome to watch, and it's happened. Davis doing very well, penalty free. Fatal's had a great race. Does have 6 seconds, so he is going to drop a few places, I'm afraid, but good. Get a good return from Fatal as we go to Cammy then, as he comes around, throws it across the line, and wins in Austria with the penalties. Then Spriggs is promoted to P2, Spreader P3, Atkins in 4, White Lion 5, Davis 6, Robbo 7, Scott in P8. Well done to Scott. That's a great result for Scott. Well done, my man. Fatal Defiance in P9. Wallace in P10. So Fatal didn't drop as far as I thought he was going to because of Wallace's penalty. So Wallace P10, Goomba's 11, Operator 12, Dark Lord 13, Dragoon in 14, and Koi's AI will come round in 15, but obviously won't count. The Game Awards driver of Data Spriggs, I'll confirm that in just a moment. But as to whether I think the same, here comes Kamarov to celebrate another victory. We've had a roller coaster evening, I think. There's been some real highlights, there's been some low ones as well, but there's some of the racing on display out there was absolutely exceptional, truly brilliant. So celebrate the podium. Obviously, I'll bring those three in for a quick chat in a minute. It's there we have it. I just quickly go to the results of the race and scroll down, so they got that. Can I do the same for the sprint? I forgot you get it at the end, but there's the sprint results as well, guys. I would love to go to the race director, but I got a feeling it won't let me. No, it won't. I should have invited the guys in first, shouldn't I? I can't even remember who I'm inviting now. Who am I inviting? Kamarov, Spriggs, and Spreader. Kamarov, Spriggs, and Spreader. Don't leave the lobby, guys. Guys, I can see like saying to guys in the chat, don't worry about it. The admin will deal with that. Okay, so let me get the lads in. But I'm going to give my driver of the day today to a man who, since he's changed his name, is absolutely... It's like he's a new man. Maybe he is a new man. Perhaps he's got somebody racing for him. But I'm going to give my driver of the day today to Scott, or Dawdy Cat, as he used to be known. Right, that's everybody invited. So if we get in quickly enough. Right, who we got? We got Cammy and Spriggs. Come on, Spreader. He's... Oh, there he is. Excellent. Right, if you could all include your audio, please, guys. You should be able to.
Yep.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, excellent. Spreader, are you there?
Hey, I'm here.
You're here. Okay, excellent. So, congratulations. P3 for you today. Penalty, obviously, has dropped you from what would have been P2. Always a nightmare, but quite a lot of penalties out there today, so it seems to be quite difficult not to pick them up. Lots and lots of battling for you, whether it was with Cammy for the lead or whether it was with Atkins for P3 or P2. Lots and lots of battling. Looked good, looked fun. Was it as fun as it looked?
It was a great race, and just having I said the driving with Cameron and then the driving with Atkins, the standards were right up there tonight, which it's really good fun for everyone when it's like that, because we all get a little kick out of it. But no, in the end, I just didn't have enough to get past Kamarov. Defended really well, so I can't blame him for that. I mean, I think we're side by side for 3/4 of a lap. But yeah, just couldn't find that edge that he kept managing to find every time. So yeah, unlucky. I managed to keep Atkins behind there, and then I couldn't break that 3 seconds to Spriggs, and Kamarov was just being a bit clever about it, to be honest, tonight. If that's one way of putting it, he was just backing me up a little bit and making sure he couldn't get that gap to Spriggs. He had the pace to go if he wanted to. But, no, it was a good race, good fun.
I'm going to speak to him about that in a second, in a way. But yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it's, as you said, the racing was fun. It looks great out there. There's so many of those sort of battles around sort of turn 4, turn 6, 5, 6, 7, that area, sort of, where sets of 2 finishes. So yeah, there was loads of that going on through the fields. The debutant Wallace had an absolute stonking race. Unfortunately, picked up 12 seconds of penalties, so he's dropped down the field, but had some incredible battles along the way, which is what we like to see.
Yeah,
So
of course.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
All right,
congratulations
mate.
to
Well,
everyone tonight from me, because, like I said, the standards from what I was seeing they were up there tonight. It was some really, really good driving from everyone.
yeah. Spriggs P2. You've obviously shown tonight
Yeah.
the
Um,
reason it's important to stay penalty free. So,
yeah.
congratulations, well done.
Cheers. Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yeah. I think that it had everything that race, to be honest. Both the sprint and the full race. I think everything except for retiring, I suppose. Yeah, it was very chaotic on my side because I just had to try and like fight as many people as I could to get from I think P15 up. And it was just yeah, it was nice to see what everyone drives like, I suppose, and it just sort of backs up what Master Spread was saying that it's really good standards in general. Probably a lot more fighting than I would have liked because it just took a bit longer just to move up, I think. But it was kind of it's nice in hindsight anyway to like see that. And it was a shame for Wallace. He had a really good race, but I think just toward the end, yeah, maybe it was just the penalties just kept racking up, unfortunately. But yeah, drove really well. Yeah, it was fun, but tiring on my side.
Tiring, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Obviously the sprint race before as well. I
yeah,
think the only thing for you tonight really was probably qualifying. Maybe wasn't
yeah.
as high as you normally are, but other than that, you were brilliant all the way through
Cheers. Yeah,
in the races. So yeah, really well
cheers.
done.
Yeah,
And yeah, on the driving, I actually think Austria it's probably the easiest track of the season,
it is.
but
Yeah,
actually, as a race, it can be really difficult because you end up
yeah.
with these huge DRS trains,
I
and
think. Yeah.
so
Sorry.
so many people trying to drive so close together,
Yeah,
it can make it difficult. If you see
yeah,
what I mean? So
definitely. It's strange in two ways in that, yeah, like you say, it's one of the easiest tracks on the circuit, but in like because of that, everyone's really close together, and it only unless you can make the difference in terms of your cornering and everything like that, you're so hard to get away, and everyone's always got obviously another chance of DRS around each lap, so quick and stuff. But yeah, it's a easy one to get right, but to get perfect like Kamarov and Spread and stuff for doing it's just very hard to do that. So props to them really.
yeah, yeah. Well, congratulations, mate. Nice to speak to you again, and
Cheers.
yeah, well done on a great race and some really nice points as well. Um, Come to you then, Cammy. Again, he seems to be on a bit of a roll at the moment. Um, so congratulations on another win and another week not getting driver of the day. Um, no, well done, man. Good win, reasonably dominant. Um, Obviously, there was some battles there with Spreader throughout, but yeah, I think you generally had a pretty good grip on the victory there throughout. Would you agree?
I think at the start, I think my pace was similar to Spread's, maybe a little bit quicker. But yeah, it was just some great battling with him in the sprint race and in the main race as well. I think he mentioned us going side by side through about three-quarters of the lap. That was great. But I mean, I was looking at Coy's for a lot of the start of the race, thinking he's only 3 seconds behind me or something on hards.
Yeah,
Um, and then I got a good undercut on Spread. I think he tried to anticipate getting held up by traffic because there was a train which we were going to come out in. But unluckily for him, most of them pitted on the first lap, and I got past the other ones pretty quickly. So I think I was about 6 seconds ahead of him. And then safety car came out,
yeah,
and Coy's just left. Didn't want to do that. Apparently, even though it was perfect timing for him to pit on the mediums, but I don't really like to see that. But hey, it means that I could have had a bit of an easier race. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, in terms of safety car, you seem to actually get a hell of an overcut because when it was coming around and Spreader was pitting, you'd actually got the gap down to I'm sure it was about 12.8 seconds, something like that you were behind Spreader when he actually entered the pits. So I'm not quite sure how, but because it didn't seem like you were catching the people around you, but you'd expect to because they're on 17 old lap hours or whatever. But Yeah, I don't quite know how
I
you
mean,
managed that. But,
my mediums were on about 60%-ish just below when I pitted. So what spread carried on for 2-3 more laps. So they would have been dead
yeah,
by the
so
end of
you
that.
must have been hitting the 70s.
I'm
Yeah.
pushing 65%.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
The
I
worst.
think I said a
That
few
was the
times
that,
on.
that was the least one. You know, I mean, the most one was probably 70s. I don't quite
Who
Yeah,
remember
goes with the
yeah,
least one?
yeah. No, you always
because
want to
that's
tell
the.
us the highest one,
It
mate.
makes no, it makes me
Yeah.
feel better looking at the least one. You
Does
see, I
it?
feel like there's more
Does
grip there.
it?
Then it's the mindset. You see.
So
Yeah, but
when
if you're looking
the
at the
highest
least
one
one,
goes and it becomes a puncture, then it's not going to do
yeah,
you any good, is it?
when that one hits
No,
100% and blows up,
it's all right. No, it's all
it's
right.
right. Yeah, but the lowest one's on 80%. I'm fine. Oh well. Um, actually, no, I was going to mention that. Actually, that was something I meant to ask you, Spreads, because I think I mentioned it about 3 times in comms. You seem to be struggling with medium tires at the moment. They seem to be going off quicker than those people around you.
Yeah.
Any
I think
idea why
that's
that's happening?
no. Maybe my driving style. Maybe the
Maybe
setup. I don't know.
setups, maybe.
Possibly it's something on the lines, but the cars feel well balanced. That's the problem. If I don't want to change something that I feel comfortable with, and it's
Yeah,
I'm having a bit of a I think a bit of a nightmare when it comes to consistency actually this season. Cameron's outclassing me though,
Who would have
and on
thought
track
that?
pace wise as well. So we need to step things up, and I need to sort out whatever issues I've got.
get in the garage, speak to the engineers, get it sorted, mate.
Yeah,
Got
well,
to.
back to the
Um,
drawing
even
He
that,
board.
or
did himself.
either that, or switch to PC and buy a few hacks. You know, whichever way around.
I say I'm just not high enough. That's what I'm blaming it on.
I like that
What, ride
answer.
height? Do you mean ride height? You do
Yeah,
mean ride height there,
Yes.
don't you?
Yeah, definitely ride
Spreads?
height.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you
of course,
definitely do.
of
Yep.
course.
Yes.
Too
Could do
much
with
high
some
rate.
trees in the cockpit as well. I need some
Yeah.
decorative trees in the cockpit.
Right, okay, guys. Spreader, where are we next week? You know, I'm gonna ask you this. You should have checked.
I should have
before.
Never
checked,
knows. I
and I
know.
never
It's
looked.
Circuit of the Americas.
Check
Is
you.
it?
Well,
Ah.
I made the
Um,
calendar spread. I should know which
Yeah.
race it is.
Good point.
Oh, I wouldn't have remembered. Not this fight. Look, wow. No, I think that's quite impressive. That's good memory. You are young. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Well, I'm not gonna lie,
Hasn't
Hilly.
been-
I looked at it 2 seconds ago, and that's why I wouldn't remember it.
Don't say that on
Oh, right,
stream
fair
either.
enough.
Graham will be drooling.
Oh fucking hell.
Right. Okay, well, what thoughts on that then? Is that a good track for you, Spriggs?
Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah. I'm so glad you actually knew. I thought you'd fallen asleep, so I was just I was
Almost,
trying
it's
to wake you
alright.
back
Thanks for
up.
waking me up. I appreciate that.
That's right.
I like the track. Whether I do well there or not, we'll just have to see if I can get in. Yeah, but I'll
Yeah.
have fun.
Okay.
This
What
track
about you
probably
two
I hate the most,
clowns?
so we'll see.
Yeah. What about you two clowns? You like
I
it?
like it. I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it. I wouldn't
Anything's
say
better
that I
You like it?
necessarily hate it, but I don't love it either. It's a bit meh.
It's all sets of one, isn't it? That's the
It's
well.
all
Yeah,
set for
yeah.
one.
Well,
It's one of
yeah,
the it's
you
one of the
say that,
horrible
but then
sets of
Sector
ones.
3, Sector 3 is quite.
Yeah. Yeah, that
If
can
you're not
make a
good at
difference
if
if
you're
you
not
miss
good at
them
the low
corners.
speed traction with that and getting it around that
Oh, low
Turkey
speed
turn 8.
traction. I
The
tend
I
long
to.
love
right-hander.
those spots. Yeah.
I've never seen any problems
I
with it in
outclass you a bit
previous.
when it comes to traction as well, Cameron.
Yeah, that the long right-hander. Previous versions of the game, I've never seen issues around there really, but this year,
Ooh, it's fucking horrible.
there's so many people
It
spinning
is.
around there. It's unreal.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, well, we'll be here
Good
next,
race for
next week
strategy
for
as
that.
well, actually.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
is, yeah.
Yeah, actually
It's one of the
few
very few
circuits
you
that you
can
can do some of the
potentially.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can potentially two-stop, but it's got to
Ooh,
go
love a
pretty well,
two-stop.
to be fair. Yeah.
Could have a nice
in a
time
way-
safety car.
Anyway, guys, thank you ever so much to everybody that's watched along with me. Viewing the numbers have been great, and the chat's been lovely, keeping me entertained. And
Lovely.
of course, for everybody that watches it back, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks very much to the drivers for an absolutely superb race again. We'll see you at Circuit of the Americas next week. I'll be back myself on Sunday for 6 p.m. for Wheel Spin Racing League and 8 p.m. for HRF1. So please come and join us for that. I also do the ARC under 25s race, which is the final race of the season at 5 p.m. on ARC's Twitch. So feel free to come and watch that. And it only takes it's about half hour for that one. So by all means, just jump in and see how they're getting on. Other than that, guys, thank you very much. See you again soon, and have a nice weekend.
Cheers, you too. Thank you.